We're back, baby. We're back after the Arizona win. 14-point victory over the Wildcats at their house. So everybody who says that Duke doesn't play road games, eat it. Eat it. We got D, the Duke fan in the house. We got Pablo. We got me. TK's out of commission doing father stuff. We got Jack. He's probably watching the Eagles game. You know how Jack does. He's got tickets to every single sporting event in Philadelphia history. D, what's good, baby?
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
Chilling, man. You feel better after the Arizona win?
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, I think there's some positives to take away. I think there's some negatives to clean up, but overall, I mean, we held a team that was averaging 94 points a game to 55.
Which is crazy.
Um, yeah, 69 points for Duke's a little low, but I don't like that the way we're shooting free throws lately. But those are all easy things to clean up. So plus 60 from the 3-point line. Out rebounded the best rebounding team in the quote unquote the best rebounding team in the country by
That's
I
something I
think
want to talk about in a little bit too. That was big.
13-14, I think it was.
Yeah.
All around team win. I mean, if you look through the box score, like nobody stands out. I mean, other than Cooper Flagg, like who was damn near dominant. Yeah, that's an all around team win. Like, good job, John. Good job, coaching staff. Well executed by the players. Like,
yeah,
great game.
Pops, how'd you feel after that game, man?
I felt good. I was encouraged by some things that I saw, and you see like what's going to be a constant in the season, which is going to be the defense. The defense I feel like is going to be rock solid. Pause the whole time. So it's like,
Already, look, early,
hey, gotta get it out there, man.
early.
But no, I think the defense is gonna be a constant, bro. I think we're gonna play very, very good defense and elite defense, like no matter what the game is, and that's what's always gonna keep us in the game. And as long as our guys hit shots, shit, we good. National champions.
Man, like D hit on something big, man, because this offense has a lot of places to go. Like early in the season, we haven't other than the cupcake games, we really haven't seen this team's offensive potential. I think we've seen what we can do against the cupcake teams, but we got to make sure that translates against the higher profile teams or whatever. But like the fact that you have a team that can go on the road and take defense with them, defense always travels, right? That's what everybody says. Even if the ball doesn't, defense always travels. The fact that we were able to go into Tucson, McHale Center, which is a place notoriously known for being a tough road environment, and just, I mean, honestly, from start to finish, I watched that game very comfortably. And
Yeah.
so comfortably, in fact, that on Spaces, I fell asleep at the end of Spaces after 2 hours. Yo, dog, that game was late, man. I went uncaffeinated. I tried to do it. Uncaffeinated, man. It got me. It got me.
Nah, that's funny, man. But nah, I think offensively, I think there's a number of things, what I'm saying, going on there, from the players who we rely on, depending on what team we're playing. And, like we're waiting for another big game from Khan, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's what everybody's waiting for. But I think what it is, you know what I'm saying, with Khan is we know what he could do. Everybody pretty much knows what he could do. So you seeing the defense adjust, you know what I'm saying? They want to take him out of the game.
Sure.
And make everybody else do what they got to do. But, with Duke having so much firepower, it's cool. That's why you see, like, them putting an athletic, longer pause defender on Khan. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that's giving him a little bit of trouble, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I think that's really giving him a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, no, we
Go ahead.
I can't remember if I put it in the group chat or not. I thought I did. I might have put it on the Discord, but one of the things I said was like Khan he's in that JJ Redick mode where when he does have that athletic defender type, the long, lengthy athletic defender that gives shooters trouble, like it's shown that that's given him a problem this year. The biggest thing with that is, with as good as this team is on the offensive side of the ball, even though they haven't looked amazing on offense this season, you're taking probably a team's best defender and putting them on Con Knippel, who, quite honestly, I know he was leading scorer. I know some of us on the podcast predicted him to be a leading scorer. Most of us said he would at least be the second, if not third, if not second leading scorer on the team or whatever. You're now hamstringing your team by putting that guy solely on Con Knippel where everybody else gets to thrive. I like that. I think that makes us dangerous. Like, whereas like last season, you could put whoever you wanted on flip and nobody else on the team was going to score. and the season before that even under Don. So the fact that we have all these other options, and we made it a point to get a couple post touches this time around too, which I thought was great. I thought we hit some tough dudes this game.
That definitely speaks to the versatility and the depth, you know what I'm saying, of Duke, you know what I'm saying, with them. If they want to, focus their defense, and game plan around Khan and try to take him out the game, it's going to open it up for other guys. So, as long as other guys are hitting shots, we're good. So, yeah, no, I'm with you on that, man.
Connie seems real.
No, go ahead, bro.
No, I was just going to say, just what y'all were saying, Connie seems real streaky to me. And I don't mean that in a bad way.
Yeah.
His first half wasn't great. I think he went 0 for 3 in the first half. But he hit 4 threes in the second half. If I'm not mistaken. I'd have to go back and look at the score breakdown. But if he did hit
4 or 3, I think it might have been 3.
3 in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the first. Okay. Well, regardless, I
think it's what it was. Yeah.
Streaky. Meaning once he gets going, that it's coming in numbers. Like the 3 threes he hit in the third or in the second half, back to back near about.
Yeah, it's almost like he sees it go in and that early. Right. He sees it go in and that really does change his game.
Yeah. But I mean a lot of basketball players are like that. But he doesn't stop shooting. Like they're drawing up plays. Part.
Right.
Yeah, correct. They're drawing up plays for him to come off those screens and catch and shoot like JJ.
And here's where I think he's different. Real quick, before you wait. Before you move from the JJ point, keep that point in your head. Before you move from the JJ point, I wanna stress that JJ, if he wasn't hitting those threes, he was pretty much out of it. But Khan, at the very least, he gets shots on the inside, which he saw against Arizona. He got a couple baskets on the inside. He still gets to the free throw line. He still makes plays happen on defense. Unlike JJ, I just wanted to point that out. Even though he's not shooting well, he's still affecting winning. Go ahead, D.
100%. No, you basically said what I was going to say. Even if his threes aren't falling, he demands enough respect on that 3-point line where they have to close out on him. And all that is a simple pump fake, head move, and then you get inside leverage, and you're off to the races. And he's strong enough to finish at the rim. Even if it's not an and one, it's a going to the free throw line, like you were saying. So he's a player who's going to get his shots up, and they might come in bunches. You're going to see a game where he has 28, and you're going to see a game where he has 12.
8. Right.
Yeah, or 8. Yeah,
and that's where you don't sacrifice his minutes, right? Because even though he might not be shooting a world beaters percentage, you still got to keep him on the floor because that's taking another primary defender away from the rest of your offense.
He's a good passer. He's a great rebounder. I mean, you don't take him off. He's the type of kid that you can't take off the court, even if he's not scoring.
Right. One of the reasons. One of the reasons we out rebounded Arizona, the best rebounding team we've ever seen, apparently, before this game, was because of what the guys on the perimeter, Khan, Reese, those guys. Pobbs, I wanted to get to you real quick on Tyrese's game, man. I know we've talked about it in the past. Reese says who he is and some of the other stuff, but man, what a season he's having.
Yeah, I think he's doing a damn good job, man. I really think his focus is spot shooting and defense, you know what I'm saying? And he's been doing both of those things at an elite level, bro. So I'm happy in what I see.
And secondary facilitation, right?
He's he definitely a second.
He's a secondary facilitator. He's not the primary facilitator.
Yeah, for sure. Secondary ball handler for sure.
But what an amazing asset to have, right?
Yeah, nah, for sure. And I kind of think that, he might need to go back to the primary slot. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's some things that we're missing when we get our guys, penetrating pause. So, I think we'll talk about that. But yeah. But no, I think Tyrese is doing a hell of a job, man. And now he, it seems like he's playing without no pressure, bro. I think that's the biggest thing for him. You could tell, you could see it in his face. He's happy out there. He's smiling. He's just out there to just lock motherfuckers up and spot shoot, hit threes. And he's getting into the lane a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Hitting a short jumper. And he's doing everything he's doing, man. He's doing it at an efficient rate, bro. And that's what I think lacked with Tyrese last year and the year before that. It was just really his efficiency, bro, and his aggression. And I think we're doing it. I think we're seeing him put it together now, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see him. I do want to see him go back to the primary ball handler slot pause just for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just alternate a little bit, just see what he could do. You know, I know he gets his chances during the game and shit, and I like what I see. But yeah, man, Tyrese, if he's playing like this, you know, we're good.
I didn't like the 2 free throws missed on the technical.
I know you just saw it on the screen too.
Yeah.
That was
I
wild.
was going to bring up free throw shooting later on, but this game it didn't matter too much.
It now, bro.
I'm saying this game it didn't matter too much, but you can't, like, you've got to make those front ends of the 1-and-1s. You've got to make your free throws because this game is not going to be gifted to you.
Does anybody know?
I'm going to look it up.
61%, I believe.
How much?
What'd you say?
Just over 60%.
As a team?
We're shooting 73%. No, 73% is what we're shooting as a team.
That's not
11.6 for 15.8 is our average.
Granted, we only shot 13 free throws last game, but I think that needs to change also because you got dudes who can get to the rim, and if you can get to the rim,
I know me and you have had this discussion.
And you right.
I know you and I have had this discussion multiple times, and this is where I can't get locked in on the statement that you can't win a game without shooting well from the line. We actually did shoot well from the line. Tyrese missed those couple. Caleb Foster missed his first one. Other than that, we really hit all of our free throws the rest of the game. Those were key moments and key spots. And I agree with you that free throw shooting is important because in a high-profile game, high-intensity game, highly competitive game, every single point matters. And when you can get points when the clock is not running, fantastic. Like, offensive rebounds help you win games. Like, if you're a great offensive rebounding team, that's more possessions for you. If you can hit twos, like, right, those, if you can hit threes, like, there you can point to so many things that help you win a game. Free throws is another one of those things. Absolutely, I don't dispute that fact whatsoever. I don't think it's a sole reason why you win or lose a game, but it's certainly important. I think that we definitely missed some free throws in those certain key spots, but we still hit the rest of our free throws the rest of the game, also in key spots. So I hear what you're saying. I don't look at this team as a bad free throw shooting team. If that's my opinion on that.
No, I agree. They're not bad free throw shooting teams, but imagine we lose that game by 3. Just hypothetically, we lose that game by 3.
Sure.
Now we're looking at film going, okay, Tyrese Proctor missed 2 in a row, and you were getting the ball back. That could be a 5-point swing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I'm not sure what the play was after that. I do think we scored, and it might have even been a 3-point shot, quite honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't want to be sitting in the film room going, damn, had I hit 2 free throws, you know, had I seen that pass, you know, you don't want to be sitting there being the guy that missed every free throw that you took. And he only took 2. But
and historically, Tyrese is an 89% free throw shooter. Historically, I'm not concerned that he missed those 2. I'm not concerned. I'm not.
You've got to find something to nitpick.
Like if Caleb missed
in every game,
I'm not gonna nitpick that because he's an 89% free throw shooter. So statistically, it says that he's not gonna do that again. Just like we say, we're never gonna shoot that poorly again. He's not gonna miss 2 technical foul free throws ever again in his career. I don't see that happening. Like statistically, it shouldn't happen.
It's basketball. Basketball is basketball. Shit happens.
I'd be more concerned,
especially when these are the guys that need to have the ball. Like if it's a close game and they have to get fouled. These are ball handlers. You know what I'm saying? Pause. So it's like you can't miss those. So I got you. I feel D on that. You know what I'm saying? But
I do.
But shooting 89%, that does give him a little more leeway. To not get
for instance, for it. Right? I was gonna bring up Caleb. Caleb missed his first free throw that he took in the second half of the game. That was the first one he took all game. He missed the first one, but then he made the rest after that. But Caleb historically is a 60% free throw shooter. I'd be more concerned, and I was concerned when he missed that first free throw. Like, damn, what's going on with Caleb? And then that was like, but then he hit the rest of them. So I'm like, all right, my man's he's gaming then. All right, cool. Like, it's just tough, man. It's one of those things that's just so you can't control it other than hitting the shot. Like. That's why I can't lean on that and say that's the only reason. Like this, we have to like focus in on this one thing because, quite honestly, there's so many other things that happen on the floor with this team in particular that we can focus on outside of the free throw shooting.
It's one of the stats that the coaches look at after the game.
They do.
Coaches,
of course they do.
Y'all know coaches aren't analytical, but
Of course.
one stat they look at is free throws taken, and I think 13 free throws taken is too little for a team of this size and this caliber.
Sure.
You should be getting to the line 20, 21 times a game.
And that's I think that's where you need to point the fingers, not so much on making or missing the free throws. It's how do we generate more touches at the line? How do we generate more opportunities at the line?
Yeah, I think we're living and dying by the three too much, and that shit gets you beat in March.
I agree.
Like if you live and die by the three in March, like you shoot 30% in March in the Elite Eight, you're done. You're cooked, bro. You score 69 points in March in the second weekend, you're gone. You're going home.
This is why I've been harping on wanting to see this team generate more post touches, whether it's traditionally, whether it's on picks and rolls and drives and screens and baseline actions and such. I want to see this team generate more post action. I really do.
This is another reason why I think that tweet that I saw, and I don't know who did it, or I would give you credit for it. I believe I responded to it saying I don't hate that. Is Caleb Foster being? I know you do.
But let's get to it.
Caleb Foster being the sixth man off the bench, right? And this is not a diss track on Caleb Foster at all. Imagine we were talking about getting more post touches. Imagine him coming in with fresh legs against first team guys with tired legs. You're blowing right by him, straight to the rack. Or the second team guys. All right, you're not a starter. I'm better than you. Straight to the rack. Not only does it give Duke a little extra momentum with him coming off the bench with fresh legs, but it might give him some confidence coming off the bench with fresh legs to see some buckets go down. And you don't have to keep him on the bench all season, Pabs. I'm not saying that. But switching him for Zion James, I don't think is crazy right now. I don't think that that's a crazy idea. And I wouldn't mind it. Like if Zion James and Caleb Foster split minutes, which they basically did against Arizona, I'd be okay with that.
Go ahead, Bob.
I mean, splitting minutes. I mean, I'm fine with splitting minutes, but I think that's such a reach and an overreaction, bro. And I think we do that too much as Duke fans. It's like anytime like a player is not shooting well or we lose or something, overreactions are fucking insane, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like we wouldn't even be talking about this had Caleb Foster hit like 4 threes. You know what I'm saying? And so that's like such and that's not an overreaction on your part, D, but I'm just saying in general, because I seen that out in the in the Twitter space, just like same tweet over and over again, and everybody's like, yeah, this should be the starting five. I'm like, no, what you're doing is just piggybacking off what somebody else says, and you're not even really thinking for yourself. You know what I mean? You just piggybacking, and that shit is whack to me because I'm like, what's the what is the purpose? Like switch them for what? Like what's the benefit? You know what I'm saying? Because it's gotta be beneficial for the team, right? You know what I mean?
And I think it was if we watched it with our eyes.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I was watching it with my eyes. I wasn't watching it with my ears.
The five in there with Zion James, switched with Caleb Foster. They played quicker. They played faster. But I think that could benefit Foster.
Faster.
And Foster didn't have a bad game.
I know he didn't. That's what blows my mind even more. I'm just like, people are talking like the kid is just playing bad or some shit. I'm just like, where's this coming from? You know what I mean? I
think he's an ISO demon, which would benefit Duke and himself if he was the sixth man coming off the bench. Like, he's the first dude off the bench at the TV timeout. I think that benefits both. So
he is the best, pretty much off the dribble, off the bounce, one-on-one guy we got.
In my opinion.
So what would he come off the bench for? I don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand why people think that that's necessary for him to come off the bench. If that's your best guy at doing what he does, even though he hasn't really shown too much of it, you know what I'm saying, this year, but he's shown some, but he hasn't shown it like all game every day. But and that's the thing, is like Caleb Foster's in point guard mode now. He's more facilitating than anything else, you know what I'm saying? And he's scoring, it's all about opportunity with him now, you know what I mean? He's being an opportunistic scorer, you know what I'm saying, and taking shots and shit like that, like as opposed to like what he's used to doing is just just getting the ball, breaking his man down, getting his, you know what I'm saying? But that wouldn't be beneficial for Duke. So now he's stuck in that mode of, you know what I'm saying, to facilitate. So it's like, why take that from him now? Like that.
Let me
and he's doing it at a good level. So I don't understand why we would would switch that. You know what I'm saying?
Let me jump in here real quick. Because this is where I stand on it, right? Like I am not firmly on the sit Caleb Foster, start seeing James, or start Caleb Foster and sit whoever else train right now. I'm not on that train yet. We're only 5 games or whatever into our season. I'm not there yet. I think, and I know John's not there. John, how we see the roster right now is it's going to be this way through December. It just is. Like I was mad that Isaiah Evans didn't see the floor, and we're not going to see Isaiah Evans on the floor in a competitive game until at least the end of December, if not January. It's just how John operates. He's going to operate as this half of the season we're doing this, and then the next half of the season we'll experiment with some shit during the ACC year, especially because the ACC is so down this year. And I think he sees an opportunity. He can afford some time right now. He can let some things play out. But you brought up something earlier, Pobs, that I think is important in this discussion, which is I don't think Caleb has been his offensive self that we saw in the offseason when you and I predicted that he'd be the leading scorer for Duke and the reasons why he would be the leading scorer for Duke. I don't think we've seen that from him. So do you think John, or do you think it'll be prudent for John this next month to move, like you mentioned, move Tyrese as the main scorer or main facilitator on the ball and maybe see if Caleb can function off the ball? Because like I said, I'm not opposed to either side of this argument. What I am opposed to is if something truly isn't working or if something is holding the team back a little bit and there's an option to make the team better, you go with the option to make the team better.
Yeah.
For instance,
for sure.
For instance, you're in Pittsburgh right now, right? The Pittsburgh Steelers were 4-0 with Justin Fields as their quarterback. He was winning games for them. They were putting up 20 some odd points a game this NFL season. And Mike Tomlin said, nah, Russ is good now. He's healthy. I'm starting Russell Wilson. And people were like, you're crazy. You have a quarterback who's got you 4-0 leading your division, and now you're going to sub the dude out. What's wrong with you? And then Russell Wilson has proceeded to take the Pittsburgh Steelers offense to a different level than they were before. So and I know you don't like football. I don't know you don't like football, but that's just the analogy I'm using, especially because you're in Pittsburgh right now.
I feel you.
But
I hate football, but
but it's truly like in terms of coaching, it's truly a matter of what is the best thing for this team. And if the best thing for the team is Caleb Foster at the one starting from the jump ball, then I'm cool with it, man. Like, do what you got to do. Like, you see it in practice, John. I don't run with it. But if there's any indication at all that this team is better suited, A, with him off the ball, or B, with him coming off the bench, I don't think that's casual. I don't think that's hateful. I think that's just what's best for the team. Like, quite honestly,
no, I feel that.
I'm not saying replace him after game 5. I'm saying go with your plan, run through December, get through Christmas with how you feel this team should go. And then if you see you need to make a change, which John has proven he can and will make changes as needed. If you see the need to make a change, then make the change.
Yeah, no, I'm with that. I'm cool with that. But like I said, I just don't think that there's anything that warrants a change like that. But I understand what you're saying. If it's better for the team, then shit, that's his team. You know what I mean? He's gonna make the change. It doesn't matter how we feel and what we think. And I'm with you on that. And if I
personally think the change is moving Tyrese to the ball. That's what I think the change should be.
I agree.
And I'm with you on that. And I think now it's time to nitpick, right? The only thing, my only beef, not even beef for Caleb, you know what I'm saying? But my only thing about Caleb is I really believe that he's missing some reads.
Yeah.
I really believe that he's missing a lot of reads, bro.
I agree. And that's why I think
There's a lot of
on the
times
ball
where he's breaking his man down and he could just throw that bitch up to Khaman and it's automatic 2 points.
Yeah.
And then, a little bounce pass, a drop down, automatic 2 points. But I believe, I think he's really focused on taking care of the ball. And that's why his assist to turnover ratio is what it is. I don't even know what it is, but I know it has to be good because he's not turning the ball over.
No, he hasn't had one turnover.
But he's not really getting a lot of assists as well. You know what I'm saying? So
he's averaging 2.1 assists and he's averaging 1.1 rebound, 1.1 turnover. So 2 to 1, basically 2 to 1
assist ratio. That's good. That's cool.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So it's like I feel like he can do better if he just let himself go a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's just why he's not a point guard, though. That's I think that's the thing.
I mean, he grew up a point guard, but I'm saying
he had 0 assists. He had 0 assists, but he also had 0 turnovers last game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And not that there were a lot of assists out there.
Yeah, but
because it was
again,
a 3-point barrage.
Motherfuckers gotta, you know what I'm saying? I feel you though, and I always look at the 0 assist thing, right? They have to make fucking shot. He's the one passing the ball a lot of times to the wings and to these open threes.
If the hockey exists, if the hockey assist existed, he'd probably have something.
You know what I'm saying? They have to make shots too to the guys he's passing it to. But that's
true.
Almost no excuse for him missing some of these reads, bro.
Right? Mm-hmm. No, you're right.
I'll be honest with you, and that's the only thing. And the only thing I say, like it's real tricky and delicate, is because you want to keep Tyrese in the mode that he's in.
Right.
You don't want to take him out of his zone. He knows now that he's going to be on the wing. Like his mind is forward now. He's going to be on the wing. He's like, I can shoot this motherfucker. I can get to the basket. I can do my thing. You put him in point guard mode. What are you going to expect out of him? You ain't going to see the same thing. You ain't going to see him doing that. What you're going to see is him going to the basket, throwing that bitch up. And although he might convert it, you know what I'm saying? It might be a turnover or, you know what I mean? You're just taking him out of the, and that's what I'm saying. Basketball is so delicate. And I don't think people really look at that, man. They just kind of look at the game and they just like, oh yeah, we'll fucking take him out the game. And no,
that's not it. But to be fair, I think Proctor was in point guard mode for a lot of that game. He had 4 assists. And again, there was not a lot of assists out there on the floor to be had. But like AC said, if it was a hockey assist type thing, he might have had 12, 15.
For sure.
And here's where I kind of point to the way this team has been running is the leading assist man. We haven't even talked about him yet. Let's get to him real quick because of how important he was this game. The leading assist man on this team is Cooper Flagg, and he's actually the only person this season who has had north of 5 assists in a game, and he's done it multiple times now, 5, 5, and 6 this season, not counting the Arizona game. But I mean, the way the offense runs, they kind of run through. It's almost like how you run a zone offense, where you have kind of that stretch kind of 4 who can play inside and out and get you looks from different spots on the floor. That's how they're using Coop. And he's got, Pops, this is your word, he's got so much gravity that he's able and he's willing to pass, and he's able to pass to like Khaman and Khan and some of the other guys and get the ball around the floor. Maybe it's not so much of a thing where who is the like true point guard in this team, because I don't think the true point guard really exists in basketball anymore anyway. There's no really true point guard. It's like, okay, Tyrese brings the ball up and starts the offense. So what? Like, when we get our shots, where does it come from? Because John has shown he wants his team 1 or 2 passes. He wants a shot up. And even though this game against Arizona, we played less possessions, and that was by design because we wanted to slow this team down, as D put it in the beginning of the show, a team that scores 90 points a game, we wanted to slow them down, which we did to great effect. So we're going to be able to play multiple ways. We're going to be able to play fast because we can play that 7-second offense. We showed that against Arizona State. And then we're going to be able to slow the game down like we showed here against Arizona. D, what do you think about that with Cooper Flagg? And let's talk about Coop for a minute, because I thought his game was incredible.
Yeah, he was damn near dominant. He scored. We talk about 3-level scoring. He scored in all 3 levels of the game. He was step back jump shooting, dribble drive mid range.
He hit some threes.
I'm telling you, and he looks good from 3-point range. So if he's open,
was he 2 for 4, 2 for 5?
2 for 4, yeah, coming to the game at 23%, man.
Yeah,
they were 2 big ones in the second half too.
Pause.
I just, I mean, he does so much for the team that I think this team kind of gets stuck. Cooper, like if another team goes on a run, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points, they're like, all right, hey, Flagg, you do your thing, bro. Here's the ball.
So I'd say against Kentucky, that was the case where we might have been Coop watching or whatever. Because honestly, I think motherfuckers couldn't move because they were so tired. Yeah. This game was killing though. This game was very different. The way he got the points was very different than what it was against Kentucky. Because against Kentucky, it was ISO go. This game, it was a lot of setup offense from the sideline with John Shire to get him points. So I don't think it was Coop watching this time, D.
No, but to be fair, this team is also knows that this dude will pass the ball. He's not.
He will.
He's not and like a typical like takeover guys. I can score at will, and I don't have any assists, like you said.
That's why I say it wasn't. That's why I say it wasn't Coop watching. If you go back and watch some old JJ Redick games, when he scores, you'll look around the court. And you'll see dudes, they don't even have their hands up. They're not in a scoring position.
And no, he wasn't gonna pass that motherfucker.
Right, they're not right. Yeah. But with Coop, the difference was like you go back and watch this film and you watch what Coop did against Arizona. Anytime he scored, Reese was dropped down in the corner with his hands and feet ready. Khan was at the high wing with his hands and feet ready. Caleb was diving to the ball. Khaman was on the block looking for a pass, and Coop was just putting the shot up because he had it. Like
Yep.
like you said, against Kentucky, I can agree with you. It was Coop watch. It was this, but that was by design. Like John said, Coop, go and get it. Y'all are tired, whatever. We're gonna try to win this game on his back, and that's how it was. This time around, it was this is the offense we're running. If he scores, he scores. If he doesn't, he's got options. I think that was the difference. I don't think this was Coop watch.
You had to put your best defender on Khan because you don't want to leave him open.
Yep.
Who you can't not double Khaman because he's gonna eat you alive. So now Coop's left with your third best defender, 1-on-1. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Duke's going to be super tough to defend all year, and I don't care if you're Kansas, UNC, Arizona, Kentucky played a hell of a game, good for them, but Duke beats them by 15 if they shoot 11% from the 3-point line and not 4. You know what I mean?
For real, and that's why it's so important.
That's a fact.
And what did we say before the season? Right, like Cooper might not be the leading scorer for this team at the end of the year, and he doesn't have to be the leading scorer at the end of the game for this team to win an important game. Like, and that's the thing, right? Like you said, like Coop's probably playing somebody's second, maybe third defender at times.
Yeah,
and shit, like of course he hit 20 if that's the case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, and he was cooking that game, man. I mean, he was absolutely cooking. Like one of the more impressive things to me is like the dribble handoffs at the top of the key. And just like letting Coop see the lane, spreading them out, a screen here, a screen there, drop it off to Coop. You can shoot it, you can dribble it, you can pass it, you can dunk it. Like, and he did all of those things. Like he played for a 17-year-old, he played like a vet.
Nah, for sure. I second that. First of all, pause. Spread them out is crazy. But
no way.
You know what I'm saying? But nah, you're right though.
It's an absolute basketball term. It's 100% basketball term.
You're right. You're right. But that's still a pause. I don't care. I had to get you. But the offense was. I think they were rock solid, bro. I think they did a good job. Pause of spreading Arizona.
I was about to say you can't say rock solid again. That's the second time
rock solid was crazy too. That's a pause too. Holy shit. But nah, I think they did do a good job of their space was great. And you know, that's a staple of the Duke offense. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much, the dribble handoffs, the pitches, you know what I'm saying? The pick and roll, high pick and roll, zoom action. I think they did great, man, doing that. And I think a lot of that really not confused Arizona, but it kind of took them out of what they wanted to do on defense. You know what I'm saying? So, and our guys got free, you know what I'm saying? And like, just a lot of action. And, when they had to hit the backbreaker shots, who hit the backbreaking shots? Khan, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's exactly, that was beautiful stuff by Duke, man. And beautiful stuff drawn up by John. I'm about to call him Sean, by John.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, nah, I'm with you on that, man. But Coop, he different, bro. He different, bro. He's like I said on Twitter, bro, Coop is a consistent jump shot away from being dominant.
Yeah, he's a legitimate 100%. He's a legitimate National Player of the Year candidate. He's showing
that. Like it wouldn't even be a question.
Yeah,
if he could shoot like Khan, oh my lord.
Right. Boy. And I know, like I know what people are saying. Like I've seen it. Like if Coop if he's first in all of our statistical categories to end the season, then that means bad things for Duke.
I don't think so.
Wrong. I've seen this before. It was Grant Hill in '94 when we played Arkansas in the title game. Like Grant Hill led the team literally in every single statistical category. And sometimes that's just how it plays out. The difference between that team and the Grant Hill team is that this team, in my opinion, has better talent than what that Grant Hill squad had, rolling out a young Chris Collins, rolling out a freshman Jason Capel or Jeff Capel, excuse me. And a broken Ricky Price, all those dudes, right? Like instead of rolling those dudes out,
Ricky Price was cooked.
I love Ricky Price, man, but you got other dudes who
I think that's one of those things though, AC. Like when I seen that same stuff where it's like, oh yeah, if he's leading him and all this stuff, and that's not good. That's another, you know what I'm saying? Let me follow
it's a blanket statement.
Man said, let me follow what the next man said. Same talking points, and it's like, why is that bad? You know what I'm saying? You can't.
Right.
We sit there and we praise Cooper and say his elite skill is his activity, right?
Right.
If his elite skill is his activity, that means he's an all-around player, right? Defense, offense, passing, scoring, shooting, steals. So when he's leading in that category, then why are we just pulling him back into the negative? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I don't understand that. You know what I mean? It's a very contradictory statement. You know what I mean? And that shit is whack to me. You know what I mean? And I think people just They need to open their mind a little bit, bro, and stop worrying about what I'm saying, what D is saying, what AC is saying, and like think for themselves. Like really sit down and look at the game and
Just
like break this
watch the
shit down.
game.
You know what I mean, they don't have
Just
to be
watch the game.
motherfucking.
Yeah.
They don't have to be Brad Stevens to see this shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at least see it with your own eyes, bro. Don't see it based off of what somebody else is saying. You know what I mean? And I think that's whack. You know what I mean? Because if we're gonna compliment them for these things, then how is it negative?
As long as it affects winning, fuck it.
Exactly, bro.
Like,
That
as long as it
narrative is
affects winning,
crazy.
fuck
It's
it.
a tired
And
narrative, bro.
like we just talked about, like what D brought up, it was like against Kentucky, it was Coop watch, but against Arizona, everybody was boarding, everybody was passing, everybody was playing defense, everybody was scoring when the opportunity was given to them. And Coop just happened to have some of Arizona's worst defenders on him, and so it was like, take it over, like do what you got to do, because they deployed KJ Lewis so much on Conca to shut him down. That was Tommy Lloyd's plan. We can't let this dude do this thing. We got to shut him down, and we're gonna win the game, and that's how we're gonna win this game. The only way we have is to do this, and they never strayed from it. And
I don't. That's a crazy.
That's why you lost by 14 at home.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you focus on that so much that we got so much firepower that the next man is going to do what he do.
Right.
So, and I really don't think there's a matchup in college basketball that's going to be beneficial for anybody if they're going to be guarding Cooper. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he can take advantage of pretty much every matchup he's going to have. It's going to be a mismatch, you know, and it's going to be green for him. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Sometimes I don't be knowing what people be thinking, but I'm not going to question a Division I basketball coach. I mean, hey, great job, Tommy Lloyd. Way to fuck it up.
D, real quick,
you, bro.
before we leave the Duke Arizona talk, real quick, I want to touch on 3 bench players because I think there's 3 important things that happened on the bench this game. Hold on.
That's a pause.
There you go. I'll never pause myself out loud. I just want you to know that.
I didn't even catch it.
He said
I want to touch on him, man. Bro. I want to talk about 3 bench players. I want to talk about the importance of seeing James. I want to talk about what Malik Brown is doing right now, which is absolutely ludicrous on defense. And then I want to talk about Isaiah Evans. Those in order. So let's start with seeing James. I put a tweet up that's getting some traction with the dude at the town hall speaking, and I said losing seeing James during the Kentucky game is why we lost to him. Like, quite honestly, I'm a die on that hill, bro.
I agree.
Seeing his balling, and that's the one that everybody wants to replace Caleb Foster with, by the way. Yeah.
So let's start there. Pablo said something about Caleb Foster's missing reads. Let me remind you of the Wofford game. Seeing James is dribbling outside of the 3-point line, almost loses the ball, gets the ball back. Khaman cuts straight to the basket. His first instinct is just throw it at the rim. Foster doesn't do that. Foster would have missed that completely, right or wrong.
I mean, he hasn't thrown the lob.
It's 50-50. We haven't really seen him do it on a consistent.
He hasn't thrown the lob to Khaman all season, so I will give you that.
I think we could say he might have missed that read for sure.
Right. So
no, I mean, and let's give credit to seeing James because he's a veteran, like veteran who makes veteran plays. Who the game might be a little slower for him than it is for Caleb right now.
That's a fact. He's been in college for 14 years.
Exactly.
Nah, for sure.
Sean James had 6 points against Arizona, but if you watch that game and you didn't have a scoreboard, you would have been like, "Damn, this kid's got what? I don't know, 30 points right now."
Honestly, I thought he had 11 until I looked at the box score.
He looked like
two back.
He was the
best
player.
2 back cut dunks, right? And what was the other point that he scored? Did he hit it? He didn't hit a jumper. He just had 2
free throw line,
2 dunks
from the free throw line.
Okay. Yeah.
So at times he looked like the best player on the court. I am in favor, and this is not against Foster, but I wouldn't hate seeing Sean James start and Foster coming in off the bench to take him out at the first TV timeout or however they want to work it out. I wouldn't hate that. Although I'm not going to, if it's John's team, I know you would, but it's not taking anything from Foster, and this is John's team, so I'm going to support what John does. Who was second? The Malik Brown was next.
Well, no, let's stay on seeing because real quick, I think what you said, D. I think it's possible like I said, I personally think, and just this is going off of 2 years of John Shire. I don't know what I can't, whatever he's gonna do. I can't read him. I'm not reading him like a book. I'm not something special. It's like all I know is the last couple of seasons, and this is what most young coaches do anyway. And this is just my experience as a coach. The first half, not even half, the first quarter of your season, first third of your season, you're going to stick with whatever your preseason initial game plan was. This is what we see fit. This is how we see the team's going to run. We'll reevaluate after that third. And so I think John's going to run what he has right now through December. I think Cian is getting a lot of opportunistic stuff because he is coming off the bench. Kind of like we're talking about for Caleb. It's kind of the same thing. Caleb, we can say, oh, well, Caleb can get these opportunities coming off the bench against the second team, against the tired first team, whatever else. Cian is getting those opportunities. So it's not an apples to oranges comparison or whatever because Cian hasn't started yet. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility in January if we're sluggish or whatever else, and John's like, we need to make a change for this team. He inserts Cian into the starting lineup, whether it's for Reese, whether it's for Caleb, whether it's for Khan, whoever. Like, sure, like make that move and see what it looks like. And if he likes to see what it looks like, then he stays. If he doesn't like it, it's going to change. But you're talking about adding a veteran presence of, like Bob said, somebody who's been in college since the Reagan administration, and and everybody talks about the the value of experience or whatever. So if anybody is going to come off the bench, like, he could be that guy potentially, but maybe it's not for Caleb. Maybe it's for somebody else just because they're not producing the way they need to produce. Maybe it's for Khan. Like, Khan is struggling right now.
Yeah.
He's had one good game this season. I love Khan Knippel to death. He's had one really good offensive game this season. The rest of them have been, he's had good games because he affects the game in other ways, but does moving him to the bench as a super six, is that the look perhaps? Because now that makes your defense a little better by putting Cian in the game as opposed to him. It changes some things a little bit, right? So who knows? I think he will see the starting lineup at some point in the season. I don't know who it's for, but I do think his presence has been really important for this team, and I thought that was felt when he went out early in the second half against Kentucky, quite honestly.
Nah, I feel you on that, and to be honest with you, I think I just hate talking about this Kentucky game, but I'm gonna talk about it a little bit. But I think Man was more missed than Cian was, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, but I just don't. I'm just not a fan of.
Here's why I don't go to Man right off the bat, because, and this is just me saying this, like, Khaman got hurt or whatever with the cramps and all that stuff. But what if it wasn't cramps? What if this time it was foul trouble because they had a good interior big who's taking him to the rack, getting him in foul trouble? It doesn't have to be an injury. He can be taken out of the game a couple different ways, whereas Cian literally got taken out of the game by an illegal play, and it was an injury. Like, it wasn't like he was in foul trouble. It wasn't like any of that shit was happening. And we sorely needed perimeter depth that game against Kentucky. That's all. That's the only reason I bring up Cian over Khaman, because Khaman did play the end of that game and was on Carr at moments at the end of the game, and Carr was still scoring on him. That's why I don't bring up Khaman.
Yeah. Nah, I feel you, but I think still Khaman was a hell of a deterrent.
Yeah, absolutely.
In that game, anytime he was in, even when Carr scored a couple buckets on him.
Sure.
I mean, that's fine, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Fuck that game. Anyway.
So let's move to Malik real quick.
Yeah, so Malik, right? The thing about Malik, bro, is like people really, really, really need to pay attention to what Malik is doing.
Jesus Christ, dog.
It's between him not really scoring and his defense, man. I mean, the margin is like so wide. It's crazy because it's like the shit that he's doing on defense, bro, is like NBA level type shit. Bro.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't even, it's the little shit, bro. It's the little shit. I mean, I'm talking about, like, they throw the ball inside. Malik is playing defense, right? They throw the ball inside. They're trying to run some action. Malik, deflection. Fucks their whole timing up. Fucks the whole play up.
Look, man, I'm telling you right now, I haven't seen a forward defend at Duke like Malik Brown is doing right now since Shane Battier, and I'm really being serious about that.
Nah, that's a fact.
He's the defensive player of the year right now.
I'm serious about that. Yes, sir,
D.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not close, bro. That's
a fact, bro.
He does.
That's a fact. The shit that he's doing from guard.
How does he get a tip every single time somebody touches the ball, bro?
I made my kid watch Malik Brown.
That shit is crazy.
Don't watch anybody on the court but Malik Brown.
Man.
He does so many little things on defense,
man,
that slows the offense. Like, just putting your hand up in a denial
Oh my
position.
God, dude!
Denying the
Completely
ball,
changed. I mean,
deflections,
I'm
steals.
getting goosebumps right now. He's putting on a master class in defense. Dude. I don't give a shit if he doesn't score another point. I don't give a shit.
Bro.
Three quarters,
He's fucking amazing.
Like, bro, the shit that he's doing is unreal,
incredible,
bro.
He
like
can
playing
guard
the
1
passing
through 5.
lanes,
Like, get the
even when he's
here.
not getting a steal, right? There's a couple times in the Arizona game where they passing the ball and he shoot the gap. They have to throw the ball a lot wider than they normally would because it's going to be a steal because Malik is right there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is. I don't know if his arms is just that long, pause, you know what I'm saying? Or if it's just his IQ or what it is, but I think it might be
a combo of all of it. It's a combination of all of it.
Like
that coming from playing that zone box and 1 coverage at Syracuse, and
oh my God,
bro.
I mean, he's
gonna fuck around.
He keeps everything in front of him.
He's gonna fuck around and win a game off a fucking deflection.
Yeah.
Watch what I tell you. Like,
seriously, bro.
Like we're gonna be up by 2 with fucking 20 seconds left, and he's gonna get a fucking steal or something, bro. Like, I'm telling you,
he's gonna knock the ball right out of bounds off somebody's shin because that's how smart of a player. I'm telling you, this is a masterclass of defense that we haven't seen in years, and I truly believe that.
It's the best defense I've seen from the 4 position at Duke since Battier. I'm not exaggerating on that, man. I'm really not, and I'm not gonna back off that statement either. And you know how much I love Battier.
Yeah, I mean, like, just think about the 4s we done had since Battier. Like, I mean, I don't think that we've had like a super defensive 4,
right?
Like Battier in a while, like Cooper, Malik. Other than that, bro, I don't really know.
And he's averaging he's averaging like 1.3 steals a game. He's averaging, I think, 7 boards,
7
a game,
rebounds,
basically.
3 assists, 2 steals, and a block.
He really averaging 7
23 minutes.
Yes, he's averaging 7 rebounds. The only game that he didn't have 7
box outs are so fundamental and crazy though, bro. Like the ball's going up, bro. He hits his man, and he go get the ball. You know what I mean?
Shouts to the player profile thing. Shouts to the player profile thing we talked about in the offseason pods. When we watched this film, was that not one of the things we talked about? Was he would do these fundamental things, and his teammates sucked so bad that like you would see the defeat on his face. He was like, "I made the fundamental play, and y'all motherfuckers can't react." Like he's on a very different. And we said we were like, wait till he sees some dudes who are actually competitive and actually good at the game, and a coach that actually values that skill, and watch what happens to him. And bro,
and that shit remind me. It's like when we talked about this, right? When we you get those special players, right? And they just like 2-3 plays ahead of everybody, bro. Like a Dylan Harper type dude, like IQ and shit like that. That's how Malik Brown is on defense, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
do you move him? Do you move him to the starting lineup instead of seeing James?
Bro,
is that a consideration, or is the floor too tight? Is the floor too tight if he's in the starting lineup?
Okay, I feel like if we're gonna move a lineup like that, you know what I'm saying, and supplant like a Caleb or a Tyrese, it needs to be because we're gonna move Cooper up to a wing position and put Malik Brown into the 4. I feel like if we do that, motherfuckers might score 19 points a game. That's on us.
So you take Khan out and put Cooper. No.
I think you got to keep Khan for the floor stretching ability.
What I would do, because it's shooting, I'm leaving him in there. So I would go either Tyrese or Caleb at the 1. Take your pick. Khan at the 2, Coop at the 3, Malik 4.
Okay.
Khaman 5, bro. That shit.
So he's taking one of
the guard spots.
Okay.
It's not a 1-for-1 exchange in the post. He's taking one of the guard spots.
No, I got you.
That should be insane. And think about it. And then you still gonna have Tyrese or Caleb and Sion coming off the bench with Mason. And bro, what are we talking about here?
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy. I might have to.
I got goosebumps thinking about that.
Bro.
That's not a bad lineup either.
I got goosebumps thinking about that.
I've never thought about that one, but no, that's not a bad lineup.
I mean, that's why I asked the question. It's like maybe it's
Coop
not
in space, right? Like that gives Coop all the fucking lanes in the world to work.
And now you have
all the defenders.
You have Coop free and you have Malik free.
Yep.
Because Khaman is still the one chained to the post, so you're not chaining Malik to the post anymore. Like, ooh.
So you only have one player in either Foster or Proctor who's going to like initiate the offense.
That's fine. That's fine with that group. What's wrong with that? Because you still got the lob threat for Khaman.
That's okay.
You still got Coop. Coop initiates the offense. Like Coop,
again,
we just talked about it.
You got Khan.
Fine, one person initiating the offense. That's fine, but Coop is still going to get 5 assists, like because that's what he's done all season.
Well,
no
Coop
matter
should
what
touch the
lineup
ball
you play.
every time they go down the court.
Exactly. So it doesn't matter who the facilitator is from the guard spot. Tyrese can knock down the standstill three better than Caleb has so far. So I lean Reese in that regard. You still keep Khan in the lineup because you still got to pull that top defender off on Khan. And now you got Coop floating free on offense. Play drop coverage if you want against Malik Brown. Like Khaman is going to eat you alive with that. Like I'm good with it, man. I'm good with it.
That's yeah. And we might see that lineup soon.
I
mean,
don't doubt it, man. I don't think that's
bro,
not out of the realm of possibility, bro. Because the way he's playing defense right now is absolutely
You
otherworldly.
know how the Warriors had their death lineup. That's Duke's death lineup right
That's
there.
a death lineup, bro. That's
a crazy.
no pause and no Vaseline. That's a huge lineup, and you take it. That's all you can do is take it.
If you didn't have guys
that's
like John
crazy.
and Flagg on this Duke team, people would be talking about Brown.
Oh, for
people
sure.
would be talking about Brown.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, that's nasty.
He's getting
man.
shadowed, and that's okay because he's got another year at Duke, and he might be the star next year.
Bro, that's nasty, man. I always forget he has another season.
I know
it's so nasty.
It's wild. It's wild.
Him with Big Booze.
Oh my god, bro. And Pat, sheesh.
And Big Pat, Nate Mint.
Yeah, Duke's not even done yet.
That's disgusting, though.
No, Malik Brown might win. I truly believe.
Two-time ACC Player of the Year defensively,
easily the defensive player of the year right now.
There's nobody who's close. There's
no. I don't think it's close.
If the ACC voters vote anybody else other than Malik Brown as defensive player of the year, I want what you are smoking because, bro.
Yeah, there's
drug
no
test,
way,
bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. And then last, sorry, let's go to the one more player on the bench because, like I said, I was mad that this didn't happen, especially after the game he had against Wofford. Isaiah Evans. What do you see happening with Zay? D, go first.
I don't. All right, so I really think he's a talented kid. I think he's a great basketball player. He's my kid's favorite basketball player on this team. Matter of fact, with everybody that we've talked about in the last hour, it's in a 40-minute game with only 5 people on the court. It's so hard to find minutes for people. And when you've got your bench playing like they are playing, and I think Gillis needs to do some work for the record.
He only played 7 minutes this game against Arizona, by the way.
Yeah, that's a second bad game in a row, in my opinion. But we're neither here nor there. We're talking about Evans. I don't know where you give him minutes. And like you were saying earlier, this is the lineup through December. So if we start seeing Evans more and more in January, late January, early February games, then we can start, lifting our eyebrows a little bit, saying, all right, maybe Evans is going to get some run here down the stretch in the ACC tournament, going into March Madness. But right now, I just don't see the minutes on the court for him. And that's not taking away anything of any part of his talent. He's a super talented basketball player, one of the best in the country. I just don't see it on this team yet.
Pops,
he needs to wait his turn.
Real quick, Pops. I think, and I want to pass this. I want to throw this rock over here to you real quick. I'm gonna throw this out there. D brought up the important question. It's like, where do the minutes come from for Isaiah Evans? I think, quite honestly, within this next month, I think you give him 5, you give Mason Gillis 5. Whoever has the best 5, you move forward with that player for that game at least. Because both of those players are heat check type players for what they do. Like Mason Gillis is a heat check on defense. Isaiah is a heat check on offense. And whatever it is you need that game, or whoever is showing whatever trait is the best for that game, you give the remainder of those minutes to that player. Because Mace only got 7 this game. I think you can replace what Mace does on the floor with what Malik Brown does. If Khaman Maluach is not in foul trouble, he's staying in the game. Mace he's that floor stretcher. That's like the one thing out of those guys that he can do that those guys can't. And I mean, Khaman hit a 3. So like, can he actually be a definitive floor stretcher? We'll find out. But now you're talking about Evans, who at 6'7" can hit the shot, can hit shots over other defenders, and gives you that bench scoring option. Pops, where do you sit on something like that, man?
So first and foremost, I'll say you always take my fucking point, so I hate you. So it's all good. But I was just gonna say that, bro. I was just gonna say that, you know what I'm saying, Mason Gillis's minutes can go to Isaiah, and he can get those minutes and just build off of that, because I think we're gonna have to fucking develop something for Isaiah sooner or later. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you know, we're gonna need his scoring, bro. And he had, like we've been saying, he's got the ability to, you know, keep a team in the game and win a game. So, but I just think that, you know, the way of thinking that John has, you know what I'm saying, he wants to stay a little older, a little more mature, and he wants one thing to be a constant. He wants defense to be a constant, and that's where it gets tricky at when you go Isaiah and you go Mason. You know what I mean? You want the defense to be a constant. You know what I'm saying? And Isaiah isn't the defender that Mason is,
and he never will be.
Isn't the fucking offensive player that Isaiah is. So it's like, what do you take? You know what I'm saying? And I think it's just gonna be one of those things where, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be situational, bro. Like if you just need somebody to just be hot and light it up, he's not gonna go with Mason. He's gonna go with Isaiah. But if you need somebody to get in there and like mix it up and be strong on defense and get a stop, that's Mason Gillis. And then you know, on the flip side, you know, he could potentially hit a game breaking 3 or something like that. You know, he could do both. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't think that defensively, I just don't think Isaiah has shown enough. Maybe, and I think that's maybe where we seeing the hiccup at right now.
So like I'm not on the side of that. I'm not on the side of that he needs to show more on defense. Like John knows what he has in Isaiah Evans. He knows he's not a defender. Like he's not going to be on the floor for defense. If defense was that important, JJ Redick wouldn't have been on the floor. Luke Kennard wouldn't have been on the floor. Grayson Allen at times wouldn't have been on the floor. Like you put Isaiah Evans in because you know he is going to get 14 points, like bam, 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 like that, and can completely flip a game strictly on the offensive side. Which again, everything equal, offense always trumps defense. So I don't, man. Maybe this is me smoking on that hopium or whatever, but I really do feel like John is keeping something in his back pocket for right now. And again, he knows he has time to do it. Like Mason Gillis was in his initial third of the season plan all the way through December because he's the experienced one. He's the one who's been to a national championship game. Mason Gillis is also the one who's not going to complain if he gets sat down. Whereas for chemistry, I think it's absolutely better that Isaiah takes some of those minutes from him because Mason's going to deal with it better. Quite honestly, like I think that's an important key to this thing is like team chemistry wise, like at some point you got to find some of these minutes for Zay because this is their classmate, those are the other freshmen. Like this is one of their dudes or whatever, and they see him struggling mentally or whatever. Like they want him to show what he can do because he's shown what he can do in some of these cupcake games. Like at some point you got to see him, I think.
Yeah, nah, I'm definitely with you. I definitely think that he's got to be in there at some point or another, man. And it's just unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate because, you know, too many narratives build, you know, and they start to just, you know, they just get bigger and bigger, pause, you know what I'm saying, as the season goes, as the games go, and if he doesn't touch the floor, and it's crazy. And the thing about it too is that, you know, it could really weigh on a kid, you know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, you know, the kid, you know, that's all I'll say. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, D.
No, he just, you don't ever see him in a bad headspace, really.
No,
he's always out there pregame goofing with Khaman and like you know, like laughing with the teammates. He's up. He's the first one up off the bench to cheer for a big play.
He is.
I think I truly believe that in this day and age in college basketball or college sports in general, you have to walk into that living room and be honest. Hey, you might not play this year. But
I think he does have a good circle of people around him that's keeping him level-headed and stuff. So I think you're absolutely right about that, D. I think you 100%
because he could have left.
Nail on the head.
Quite honestly, he could have left when we were recruiting VJ Edgecombe and some of the other guards that we brought in with him.
Anywhere in the country. He starts anywhere in the country. There's no question about it. But I really think that John talked him and his family into, hey, dude, just pull up, you know, play your freshman year as you get it. You might only get 13 minutes combined this year, but just stick with me. Just trust the process. And I promise you, you're going to play and you're going to get to where you want to be. Just stick with me.
I'm going to throw out a hot take alert real quick. I'm going to say that we don't have a second year Isaiah Evans strictly because I think he's going to play his way into the first round of the draft. Because quite honestly, I think he's going to get the opportunity this year to do what he's doing. John is testing him, man.
And I hope so.
I see this with coach's time. This is not a case of John just wants 8 and he's stubborn. He's never going to change anything. La 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 la. Like whether Zay comes in February, whether it happens in January, December, or March, when Zay is inserted into this lineup to play, he's going to go off, and that's it for him to do. Like
and
with the intangibles that he has and everything else, he's gone.
And you might be right, because I've always said if this Duke team gets to where they want to be, which is cutting down the nets April 4th or whatever it is, April 6th, it's going to be a mass exodus. You don't stay. And there's going to be a game in March or late February, or maybe it's even the championship game like Grayson did, where you get those 9 to 14 points in a row, bang, 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 and you cement yourself as a hero.
I think he's on the Grayson plan for real, man. And I think he can see the floor sooner than Grayson did, because Grayson didn't see it until like late. I want to say it was like at UNC. It was like the game before at UNC. It was basically the end of February when Grayson was late into the lineup.
But I think that's what people forget, bro. That this is not an anomaly. This isn't anything new at Duke. This happens quite often. You know what I'm saying? And those players. And the players who that happened to, bro, they always, the funny thing, they always turn out successful, bro.
They do.
In the end.
They do.
They always turn out successful. They move on to the next level and do big things in the end, bro. So
and I think that's where Isaiah was. I think that's the pitch that was sold to Isaiah, because he could he could have left when the other guards showed up on campus in the recruiting class.
For sure.
Trust the process with Isaiah.
Man.
That's all I can say.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to Kansas. This is a big game. This is on Tuesday. Like
fuck Kansas.
Yeah, that's what I say too, bro.
I don't think they can handle Duke's second team, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, the depth on Kansas is suspect. So that's actually one thing I want to do. I'm actually gonna pull up the Kansas UNC game. We're gonna talk about it while this is up. We don't need to like watch play by play or anything, but Pobbs, I'm gonna start with you because I know you watch this team. D, I'm gonna go to you right after that. Both of you watch this team play. You're familiar with their game and what they do. Talk to me about Kansas, the type of game they offer, and where can they be beaten?
So obviously they do some very good things, you know what I'm saying, because they got a Hall of Fame coach in Bill Self, and he's just a master manipulator, man, on offense, bro. He just knows how to make things work. You know what I'm saying? And the only thing I really worry about with this team that Duke is really going to have to pay attention to is just really the way they get the ball to Dickinson, the way they get the ball inside. You know what I'm saying? I think that's, you know what I mean? Because they do a good job of passing the ball at different angles, and they run different actions to get a quick pass over the top. And they do a lot of quick hitters for like their big dudes. You know what I'm saying? And I think their depth in the post is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? They start with Hunter and KJ Adams.
Have good depth.
They also have Flory, you know what I'm saying, coming off the bench. I forget this other dude. That's another white dude, I believe, that they got, another post player. Can't remember who the fuck it is, but they got pretty good post play, you know what I'm saying? Like, and Hunter Dickinson, shit, he about as old as Obama right now, so it's like shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, the motherfucker, he just know how to play basketball, bro. He just knows all the tricks of the trades. And
you're talking about Zach Clements, by the way, right?
Yeah, I think that's his name. I think that's his name. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how much time he gonna get or whatever, but it is what it is. But I know they have at least 4 guys that they'll play. So it's gonna be when we really only play 3, you know what I'm saying, in the post. So we're gonna have to just do our things. But I think our best bet is to attack them the way Arkansas guards attack them. I mean, Arkansas guards was all over their backcourt, bro. They made them so uncomfortable. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Dwan Harris couldn't get loose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they made them play defense. You know what I mean? And that's the other thing. So I think our guards are going to have a big game. Obviously, I expect Cooper to have a big game. I think he's going to do his thing, especially if they're going to have KJ Adams guarding him. I think that's barbecue chicken, because KJ Adams, shit, he fouled probably every 15 seconds. He fouling somebody. So, you know what I'm saying? That's one of those things that we definitely going to do a good job of. But I mean, I think their wing depth is really good, though, man. Their guard and wing depth is pretty good, man. Zeke Mayo, I think we're going to have to control him. I see Tyrese guarding him. He's just going to have to control him. He's having a good season. Because, I mean, that motherfucker can play. He could shoot the shit out of the ball. And
he's having a good season.
Dribble. And they just do a lot of things, man, with the ball as far as like just actions and plays, man. Like they're really advanced in what they do. So we're gonna have to really pay attention to that. This will be another game that they'll have an athletic guard or wing on Khan. So he's really gonna have to step up and just play big. You know what I'm saying? Just play his game. You know what I mean? And hit some shots for sure.
Yeah.
So other than that, I just think
So
that we
it's
can
so it's
exploit them
interesting,
if
right?
we.
So they
Oh, go ahead. What
no,
you
no,
say?
you can finish your thought. No, go
No,
ahead
I'm
and
just
finish
saying.
your
I
thought.
think we could really exploit them in the post. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think they have anything in the post that could really hang with us. You know what I'm saying? I think KJ Adams is a good
Yeah.
shot blocker. You know what I'm saying? Flory is a load. You know what I'm saying? Like when he's in the game, and he's a good defender too. Hunter Dickinson,
Yes.
keep him in action,
Barbecue chicken.
get his feet moving, and I think we all right. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, man, I mean, we can't let like that happen. You know what I'm saying? You see how Flory just went end to
Right.
end that fast.
And
We can't let that happen and get these cheap fouls.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because Khaman in
Right.
trouble and foul trouble is going to spell doom for us.
Yeah.
That's going to be doom for us.
I think
one
fouls are
thing.
key.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you were next, AC.
No, I was. There was
activity?
a point.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, go ahead.
There's a point that Pops brought up, which I think is you got to attack them. The only game that Flory Badunga has been attacked was against Michigan State. He had 4 fouls. He played 12 minutes that game, something like that. They did something interesting. They had Zeke Mayo and AJ Storr starting on the bench. They moved Zeke Mayo into the starting lineup, brought David Colt out, and then they kept AJ Storr on the bench. AJ Storr has had trouble this season with the flow of the offense. I think one of the things that Kansas does is they're going to run a lot of series up top to get mismatches on guards. You can't really do that with Duke. There's no real mismatch on the perimeter in terms of defense that you can just absolutely exploit. And that includes Con Knipple. You can't just exploit him on defense. He's proven to be a decent defender to the point where their guards are still smaller than ours, and to the point where Con is going to be able to stay in front of their guys, especially because of the space. And yeah, they're going to have to force feed Hunter Dickinson. I think you do that. It's the Zach Edey principle. It's sure get your 20 Hunter and get your 10 rebounds, and we're gonna win this game because nobody else on the team is gonna do anything outside of that. And we've already shown that we're gonna slow the game down like we did against Arizona. That's gonna kill Kansas. A slow game against Kansas, that's gonna kill them because their offense is not efficient right now. D.
I think speeding Kansas up is the way to go. To be honest with you,
that's what you want to do. Is speed them up.
I want to see them attack the paint and make Hunter Dickinson have to make a play from the very first jump ball. Like here's Caleb Foster's opportunity to get to the lane. Here's Khan's opportunity to get to the lane. Go straight at Dickinson because I think he's about as fast as an oak tree. I don't think he moves well and he reaches a lot. So if you get him in foul trouble and he gets put on the bench, Duke's going to eat. And they're going to be able to do whatever they want. Now, I will say KJ Adams, one of the most impressive players in college basketball. You haven't seen KJ Adams play, go watch him play because it is fun. It is fun to watch KJ Adams play basketball. You cannot let him beat you. He can literally jump right over you. UNC almost beat them because of their free throw shooting. They did exactly what I said. Attack the lane. Get these dudes into foul trouble.
They did what Kentucky did to us, quite honestly.
Yeah,
they just kept attacking.
They're not a good defensive team. They don't have depth like your typical Kansas team does.
They foul a lot.
I'm not sold on Hunter Dickinson.
They do, which is crazy because DeJuan Harris is supposed to be a world-class defender, and he hasn't shown it this year.
Yeah,
no, they're slow,
they're big.
Slow on the perimeter.
Dickinson and Adams, they foul a lot, man, and so does Floyd Badunga.
They don't do a whole lot of things special. They just have big name talent, and like if UNC
and they're also going to only play like 8, by the way. Yeah, they did. They
don't have a bench. They don't have a bench.
Yeah, they only play 8. They only comfortably play 8, I should say.
If you don't let Dickinson go crazy shooting threes, which I don't think he will, because you're going to have somebody on him. Somebody's going to be spying on him at all times.
Right, and he's not a crazy 3-point shooter like that anyway.
Don't let KJ Adams do the backdoor cut dunk stuff.
Yeah, they do a lot of backdoor stuff, but they also roll KJ Adams out of the short roll a lot, and they expect
do.
him to make a play. So they do
Look
a
at
lot
every
of
single one of these
short
clips
roll
right
with
here.
him,
Look,
him getting the ball and then kind of catching
look
it
at what
like
UNC's
in the
doing.
mid post. Yeah, UNC gonna run though. That's what they do though.
You
That's
attack
what they
them.
gonna run.
Yeah,
And that's
I think D might be right, man.
Do.
I think D might be right, man. I was on the board of slowing them down. Shit, man.
Now I would definitely play them fast. I definitely
run at these cats.
I'm going
run at
straight
these
at you.
cats.
We're going straight at you.
Run at these cats,
beat
bro.
them up because look at Dickinson.
If you let them get set up in their defense, now you're stagnant. Now you're just dribbling the ball around the 3-point line. You push that ball.
And Khaman Maluach needs to, whatever film John needs to show Khaman from the UNC at Cameron game with Derek Lively, where he literally just played with his hands straight up in the air. Play that defense. Don't try to block the shot. Don't do none of that other shit. Put your hands straight up in the air and just wait and just grab the board when it comes off. Or if he makes it, he makes a 2 with 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Excellent, because that's the most inefficient points you can get on the floor is a late clock layup in the middle of a game. Like, that's so inefficient. So if they want to do that, so be it, man. Let it happen. Hands straight up in the air. Don't be in foul trouble. That's all I care about.
When you see their offense, they just try to, they try to pick and roll, try to get the ball into the middle.
They're forcing it
for KJ Adams.
This is an absolutely winnable game for Duke, man. This is an absolutely winnable game for Duke.
For sure.
I'm more surprised if Duke doesn't win this by 12 plus. Because Kansas just simply doesn't match up with Duke. Duke has so many people to throw at Kansas to cause mismatches. It's unreal.
But look at this is what you do. Look at how fast they play.
That's what I'm saying.
Look at Hunter Dickinson. Hunter Dickinson didn't even make it down the court.
He ain't make it down.
Half of Kansas team is still standing on the Jayhawk. So,
but what they do is a good job of Hunter Dickinson does a good job of sealing his man. Look at that post position, bro.
He does.
Can't let him get pause.
And that's where you play. That's where Khaman just plays straight with his hands in there.
Yeah, just put his hand straight up.
But that young man is also like a solid foot shorter than Hunter Dickinson.
Yeah.
And sure. I don't think they've given a number yet for the game, but I absolutely expect Duke to be an underdog this game again. My plus 2.5, something along those lines, maybe even plus 4. But you're talking about a Kansas team that can't shoot the 3. They don't have, like, their depth is not as talented as Duke's depth. I think there will be a lot more credit given to AJ Storr than there should be. I like AJ Storr as a player. I don't think he fits what Bill Self wants to do on offense at all. I think this was a terrible move for him to come to this team. And I think athlete to athlete, big to big, we can handle with them, man. We can hang with them.
Yeah.
Agreed.
This game right here against North Carolina was a fucking track meet, bro.
It was, man. That's what you got. That's what Arkansas did, right? Like, I know Dickinson didn't play. I know Ryland Griffin didn't play against Arkansas. But against Arkansas, that's exactly what they did. They ran. And you see how bad Arkansas is. Like,
Arkansas just attacked their guards,
right?
Too.
Make excuses that Arkansas is a bad team and it was an exhibition all you want. Arkansas still beat the hell out of Kansas in that preseason game. No coach wants to go into an exhibition publicly and be like, "Oh no, we're good because we just let them beat us by 20." Like, no sir. Arkansas earned that shit.
Yep.
I'm not impressed with Kansas. I'm truly not.
Nope, me either.
Least impressive.
I think they do some good
number
things,
one team in the country that we've had in years.
They do some good things, but we can definitely smack.
It's all based on Dickinson, though, right? Like, play him straight up. Don't foul him. Like, if Khaman is playing, like, if he's playing young against Dickinson, then it's gonna be an issue. But if he looks at that Derek Lively tape and it's just put your hand straight up in the fucking air, like Lively did against Baycott, like, you play like that, man. Because like you said, Dickinson's not gonna. He can shoot the 3, but they're not gonna draw up 7 threes for Hunter Dickinson. They're not going to do that. That's bad offense. Like, they're going to have to play him on the interior. And if Khaman can he can just hold position, shit, go for it.
So that's what they're going to have to do right there. Force him into those tough shots right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Around bullshit shots that, you got to be a little more athletic to hit.
Yep. Yeah. And this is a game where Arizona felt like was too fast for Pat Ngongba. This is a game where I think he can steal 5 minutes because we're going to need those fouls.
Yes, I absolutely agree. This is a perfect game for Pat.
For sure. I wouldn't be mad if he go in there and just flagrant foul the shit out of him. I'd be all right.
For real, man.
You got 5 to give. I think Malik Brown is going to have a big performance in this game.
He absolutely should.
Oh yeah.
Malik Brown and KJ Adams is a key matchup.
Yep.
Like in the same way last year that Keyshawn Johnson was against Mark Mitchell, and that's one of the big things that led to that victory for Arizona at Duke. I think it's the same thing for Malik Brown. If he can hold KJ Adams off the boards and he can keep him from getting those backdoor points like he likes to get, shit. That's a third of their offense.
I think Cooper gonna have KJ Adams in foul trouble quick.
He could, man.
That's
unless
my key to the game.
he's on Zeke Mayo or somebody else like that. You know what I mean? Like, who do you put him on? Like, if obviously he'll start, so he'll see KJ Adams to start. So you continue with that. But if there's sections where we put Malik in, like kind of like we talked about, Khaman, Malik, Coop, and then two guards, like shit, Coop's free to play AJ Store, whoever else he wants to play, and that's trouble for Kansas.
Yep.
It's one of the best defenders in the country, man.
Indeed.
Quiet as kept.
That's a fact, bro.
All right, let me get this Kansas off my screen. I don't want to see no more Kansas on my screen. I'm done. We're gonna beat this ass, man.
Yeah,
D, give me a prediction, bro. Give me a prediction.
I think Duke by 12. I can't. I like to say if Duke scores 80, they're tough to beat. I still stand by that.
Do you think we need Kansas?
You say it again.
You think we need 80 to beat Kansas? Because we didn't need 70 to beat Arizona. I'm not saying they're the same team. I'm just saying, do you think we need 80 to beat Kansas?
No, it depends on this. Like, you wanted to slow them down. I said speed them up. It really depends on that. Like, how do you want to play them? If you're going to play fast, yeah, you have to score 80. If you want to slow them down, you can score 59 and probably beat them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just get them in foul trouble. It's the easiest way to defend a player is them sitting on the bench, right?
Sure.
So if Dickinson and KJ Adams are in foul trouble and sitting on the bench, they're super easy to defend. I promise. So it really depends, but I think Duke by 12. I think they match up really, really well. They're due for a better shooting night than we've seen here in the past few games, and I mean, and it could turn into a Duke Kentucky Zion year type of game. It really could.
All right, shit.
I mean, it really could.
All right, man. All right, pause. What you got, bro?
You know, this is one of those games where I ain't even gonna give you a prediction. I mean, just win the motherfucking game, bro.
It is just JFW, bro.
I don't give a fuck if we win by half a fucking point. Just win the motherfucking game, period. Because I don't want to hear no Kansas fans, and I think that we got to get over the hump. You know what I'm saying, against Kansas. You know what I'm saying, and we got to prove, that we could beat these teams that we're supposed to beat. And I mean, I think we probably come in the game as an underdog for sure. You know what I'm saying? Just basically do off of just because of ranking. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. But go Duke, man. Fuck Kansas.
Fuck Kansas. This is one before the game, or before the season. I was like, I'm not concerned. Like, yes, they have a veteran presence. They have an All-American and Hunter Dickinson, all the other stuff. Hunter Dickinson's never proven to be a player who's going to win you a game down the stretch. I like where your head's at, D. I hope it's that way. I hope it's a comfortable watch for all of us Duke fans. But I'm not doing it. I'm not.
I'm not doing it.
You can't make me. But I hope it's a comfortable watch for us Duke fans. I do think it's going to be a close game because Kansas is, they're the number one team in the country. For, whatever you want to say, like they are. They have talent. They have college talent. They are a good team. They have a Hall of Fame coach who's great. I mean, he's proven it. Like this is a big win for John in a lot of places because number one of his first wins against an upper echelon coach. I don't think he's gotten one of those truly yet. Tony Bennett, that's probably the one that you could say he's gotten a win against. Out of that tier of coaches, Bill Self, I think in my opinion, is a tier above Tony.
Sure.
So I think this is a proving ground moment for him. I think this is a proving ground moment for this team. This is why they scheduled this stuff this way. They wanted this game on the schedule. They asked for this game specifically for seeding. You don't get the seed by losing the game. You get the seed by winning. So it means more to Duke, in my opinion, than it does to Kansas, and I think that point will be iterated. So I think it's gonna be close, though. I'm gonna say 79-76. Much like that Gonzaga game where Duke went into it at Vegas with Paulo and them, where we were the underdog that game. They picked Gonzaga, saying it was a home game for them and all that other shit. Duke fans travel, bro. Duke's gonna be in Vegas, so I really do. I think, and it's a shooter's gym. I think all of this favors Duke. There's a lot of things. All of this favors Duke. I'm saying 79-76.
Just fucking win.
Just fucking win,
Just
man.
fucking
Like this
win,
is
bro.
so important, man. This is a very important game. This is a very important week, Duke fans. Man, can't wait. This is exciting, bro. Like now, back to back at Arizona on Friday night, and now we got Kansas on Tuesday. Man, this is a basketball dream right here, baby.
Let's go.
D for Pops, AC in the house. Jack TK couldn't make it with us tonight. Let's get this dub. Like Pop said, JFW. Just fucking win, man. Let's go, Duke, baby. Let's just get this victory, baby.
Go Duke, baby.
Let's go, Duke.
Let's go, Duke.
Hold on, I'm trying to find I need to get this shit out. There you go. This is our socials, man. Check that shit out. That's where you can find us. Write it down. Take a picture. I don't give a fuck.
Do all that shit. Do all that.